What a beautiful morning. And somewhere near you, baby Sam, along with some other 350,000 newborns, will join us on Earth today. Sam will live for something like 72 years, and through his life there will be many ups and downs. When we come into this life, we don't know what's in store for us. There are good times and there are bad times. And sometimes the bad times overshadow the good times. If only we could avoid the bad times, or at least have the tools to deal with them. And that was Sam's life. All our lives are like Sam's, full of ups and downs. For 20 years, the Spiritual Science Research Foundation has been researching the causes of ups and downs in people's lives. Our research has shown that up to 80% of problems in life have their root cause in the spiritual dimension. Only by addressing the spiritual cause of a problem at a spiritual level can it be completely overcome. Now, what most people don't realize is that the spiritual dimension impacts every facet of our lives. By spiritual dimension, I mean that part of the world that is beyond the five senses, mind and intellect, and can only be understood by our sixth sense. Ghosts and departed ancestors from the afterlife affect our daily lives negatively in various ways. Almost all of us are affected by their negative black energy. Now let's take a look at any cross-section of society. This is an everyday scene of people in a city. If we had to look at them with our sixth sense vision, then this is what they would look like. By covering them with negative black energy, ghosts or departed ancestors create a variety of issues in their lives, such as depression, illnesses, marital problems, financial problems. And because they are spiritual in nature, they can only be overcome with spiritual remedies. Quite often I'm asked the question, why would my dead auntie or uncle from the afterlife want to come and trouble me? And the answer is very simple. The thing is, when on earth we hardly do any spiritual practice in the true sense of the word, and therefore have very little spiritual capacity or energy. Now the only thing that matters in the afterlife is the amount of spiritual energy that one has. The power, the connections, the relationships that we have on earth have no bearing whatsoever on how we progress in the afterlife. Now without spiritual energy, our ancestors get stuck in the lower regions of the universe. Out there they really can't help themselves, so they try to reach out to us and communicate to us. Their way of communicating with us is causing problems in our life. Now we all understand the language of pain. When problems in life just don't go away, despite best efforts, and they plague us over and over again, you can be quite sure that the problem is spiritual in nature. One of the most common types of spiritual problems is problems caused by our departed ancestors. In our research centers across India, we have studied thousands of cases of people where modern sciences have not been able to help overcome their problems. This research is now available on our website, and it has already helped many people worldwide. The cases ranged across all aspects of life, and the problems were only overcome
when they were treated at a spiritual level.
There is nothing miraculous about these cures, and they only happen because people have understood and accepted that the spiritual dimension does exist and have incorporated spiritual healing remedies along with their conventional measures.
Now let's take a look at a few examples. John from Melbourne, Australia was suffering from eczema for the past 23 years. It began when he was 19. He is now in his 40s. After going to many skin specialists over the years, there was absolutely no relief. Modern science had their fair go at treating his hand for eczema for over 23 years. It was only when the spiritual remedy of a simple chant was applied did the cure happen in a matter of days. Now this is his hand on the 11th of July 2006. And this is a picture of his hand on the 17th of July 2006. When we see a healing like this, that took place by spiritual remedies alone, we have to wonder, is there something more out there that modern sciences have not taken into account? Mrs. Mehta was bedridden for 12 years, even after she was operated upon for an aneurysm in her brain. She improved completely after starting spiritual practice. Aparna's severe migraines stopped only after she started spiritual practice.
I've been having these migraines since my teens. They just wouldn't go, despite the best medical treatment. Finally, only spiritual healing remedies helped me.
This is an example of a girl of a very young age who suffered from severe hair loss all of a sudden. No amount of medicine seemed to work for a period of 3 months. It was only after undergoing a spiritual healing session that her hair began to grow back again. Derek suffered from bouts of depression from the age of 17. It was actually due to being possessed by a negative entity. He is currently doing spiritual practice and is being treated for it by spiritual remedies and has improved immensely. We have had a very high success rate in overcoming addictions through spiritual healing remedies. Like this, we have successfully treated various cases that have also included excessive sexual thoughts, heart problems, and family problems. Now, people who have been educated under modern sciences and the so-called skeptics will probably fight tooth and nail to negate the fact that these cures were actually due to spiritual healing remedies. Because if they accept the fact that ghosts and the spiritual dimension does exist, then every book of modern science would need to be rewritten and its very foundations changed. The Spiritual Science Research Foundation was founded with the blessings of His Holiness Dr. Arthavle, and he guides the spiritual research team. He has done research in clinical hypnotherapy in England for 7 years. He has written books on clinical hypnotherapy, and his research has been published in journals. After 25 years of practicing as a psychiatrist and a clinical hypnotherapist in India, he understood the limitations of medical sciences when he found that some of his patients who did not improve with medicines, psychotherapy, and clinical hypnotherapy would get cured after they visited a holy person or place. He then began to explore the spiritual dimension under the guidance of his spiritual guide, His Holiness Bhaktaraj Maharaj. Today, many doctors have joined him on the spiritual research team on a volunteer basis. They work selflessly to understand the spiritual dimension and its impact on our lives and the solutions to overcome it.
I have been working with the spiritual research team since the last 7 years. We have been systematically investigating the spiritual root causes behind various medical and psychiatric illnesses as well as other problems in life. In the course of this spiritual research, we have come across a number of people who were suffering from medical or psychiatric illnesses but who did not recover despite best medical or psychiatric treatment. These include cases of brain aneurysm, eczema, migraine, sleep paralysis, depression. We have also seen people with repeated disturbed behavior who were otherwise completely normal. In all such cases of disturbed behavior, we do a complete physical and mental status examination to rule out underlying medical or psychiatric illness. All these people who had not recovered despite best medical and psychiatric treatment recovered in a short time when they took up spiritual practice and other spiritual healing remedies.
The Spiritual Science Research Foundation has thousands of hours of video footage of manifestations of ghosts and the effect of spiritual healing remedies. All these experiments are conducted under the supervision of doctors.
I have been working as a psychiatrist since the last 15 years, and I have seen that despite best efforts, psychiatrists across the world have not been able to cure all their patients. In fact, the textbook of psychiatry clearly states that across most psychiatric illnesses, the recovery rates are less than 50%. However, those of my patients who complemented their psychiatric treatment with spiritual practice and other spiritual healing remedies recovered more completely and in a much shorter time.
At the Spiritual Science Research Foundation, extensive research has been undertaken in spiritual healing remedies. Regular spiritual practice is recommended and is the best spiritual healing remedy. On our website, we have explained in a simple manner a few things that you can do to start your spiritual journey and that will enrich your life. It is only when people start spiritual practice, they often wish that they would have connected the dots earlier to better overcome problems in life.
Our spiritual research has shown that by doing spiritual practice, one enhances his spiritual level and can thereby access more protection from God.
Would you wish to live a more aware life? Then do visit us at spiritualresearchfoundation.org and learn how to overcome the effect of the spiritual dimension on your life and the lives of your loved ones.